let me ask you a question. You ever won that one? All right, we know that. Have you ever even competed for one of these? Let me ask you.
My name is Troops. And I am the wise man. And I would like to introduce the reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated world champion, Carefree Lewis G.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. We are back. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another Chelsea chat. Obviously, we're still reeling off the game on the weekend. We're going to be delving into everything regarding that defeat, the offsides, whether the offside even matters, the lineup, individual performances, thoughts going ahead to the games coming up. Obviously, we've got Bayern away, Manchester United away, 3 away games on the bounce, actually. 3 away games on the bounce. And as always, we got one of my favorite panelists over here. We got a man like Guni in the cut. Hope you're good. Hope the family's well. Great to have you back on the show, man. Hope everything's good.
Yeah, man. Good to be back. Good to be back. Did we talk? Have we spoken since the Premier League started or not? Was my memory true? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think the last time we spoke was
either way. It's good to be back on the channel. Big up all of the chat
after
as well,
the Palace
man.
draw.
Yeah, it was, isn't it? Yeah, so, but still, big up everyone in the chat. It's good to be back. Thank you for having me back on. And there's definitely a lot we're going to chop up today.
All right, Jay, hope you have a safe surgery, man, or MRI. Hope you're safe, man. Big up,
man.
bro.
Hope them results come back good, man, and there's nothing to worry about.
Come on, man. Shout out to all the chat. Big up to every single one of you locked in as well. You guys already know what it is. Obviously, 2-2 draw against Brentford. How are we feeling 2 days removed from that? And obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the offside decision at the end. Did Chelsea get robbed? Did Chelsea not get robbed? My thing is always I don't like leaning on refereeing decisions or individual refereeing decisions in games that you don't win. Especially when now we're meant to be thinking it's year 4 of Clear Lake. We're meant to be in a title race. We're meant to be pushing to compete on all 4 fronts. I don't really want to lean back on one bad decision being the difference between us winning or drawing a game, especially a team of the nature of Brentford. Now, with that in mind, I do think it was a poor decision. I do think we kind of got robbed. I don't really care, in all honesty, especially when you look back at the nature of the goal that we conceded and how fucking avoidable it was. But how did you feel coming out that game, and how are you feeling a few days removed from it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. When that goal went in, it felt like a loss. It felt like we left there with nothing. I kind of felt, deflated, and especially after the goal that Caicedo scored as well, we deserved to get 3 points after that. So I was a little bit gutted. Definitely a blow, but it's. Ever since I started, even before I started doing content, from I was playing football, yay high, since I was small, I was always told, don't look to the referee to be winning or losing or drawing games for you. Yeah, the fate should be in your hands at all times. And the reason why I say that is because what led to that goal was a lapse in concentration. The fact that the ball even got that far for me is where my question starts. That should have been dealt with. And then on top of that, you've got a newcomer who is at the back post who was fast asleep, had no awareness of what was going on around him. But you know what? It's one of those ones where he's coming to a new side. He's come from a team that have just had bad habits after bad habits. And you can see from where they're at and what they're still doing now, they're massively struggling. It's going to take a minute for them cobwebs to shake off. I know some people don't really want to hear that, but it's true. Yes, it's a fresh start for Garnacho, but he's going to have to play up to the standards. He's coming from a team that finished 15th. Now he's coming into a team that finished up in top 4 and we're looking to actually win stuff. So the concentration's got to be way better. But still, I'm not even trying to scapegoat him. As a whole, defensively, we should have dealt with that a lot better. 100%.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I don't want to scapegoat Garnacho, but if I'm being completely honest, if I do look at one individual, I have to end up looking at him because that's your guy. And all I'm asking for you to do, right, is make an attempt. Like, and you just stood there until the ball went behind you. And I'm thinking that is, for someone who's only been on the pitch for the best part of 15 minutes, that to me is really poor. Now, obviously, like, you hope that he learns from it and everything. I'm not going to write him off based off that. I already kind of don't really look too well on him anyway, but I could at least say that you had a decent cameo up to that point. And then afterwards, you throw it all away just off that stupid one moment. But I agree that there's a lot of other players that need to be held accountable for that as well. You've got about 4 Chelsea players already marking the front post, and there's only 3 Brentford players there. One of them doesn't need to do that. You guys, there's also a goalkeeper that's in the front post as well. Sanchez, if anything, should be closer to where Garnacho is on the far side. Reece James in the middle. This brother didn't even step forward to the number 4. So he was in a bad position as well because he was watching. Overall, it's just so tin pot. And like, there's been a lot of talk about our mentality now coming out of it. And this is why I'm so frustrated coming out of this game. I think the mentality in the squad has improved a lot this year. I've seen us enough times have bad first halves, come out with good second half performances and turn the game around. Maybe turn the scoreline around or just get the goal that we need to win the game. We've seen us win a World Cup in spite of no one believing we could do it. Get top 4 with a run in no one expected us to get top 4 in, or even top 5. All that build up for you to fall asleep at a long throw when we've already dealt with 5 or 6 of them in game. You know it's a threat. You know it's something that we need to be switched on for. What are the people doing? Switched off. So fucking pathetic. So pathetic.
Yeah, so that's definitely disappointing. And you know, I've seen some people say, well, look, the squad's young, they're gonna make mistakes, they'll have lapses in concentration. To a degree, that's true, but then when we analyze who was actually in the squad and who was in the box, it was some of our most experienced players that were there. Especially if we're talking about age and experience and seniority. You know, Tosin, he ain't a baby. Chalobah, despite his age, he's got enough experience to know better. Sanchez, he's not a baby either. Who else am I missing? Reece James. Reece James has been there and done it in terms of winning some of the biggest and best accolades in football. You know what I mean? So there's not really an excuse for that. There's not an excuse for that. If this team can tighten up in terms of concentration and not switching off in key moments and not being so vulnerable after we score goals, because that's another thing that I notice is after we score, teams tend to attack us and often get through into the final third quite soon after we score. And I know a lot of people will say, well, that's the most vulnerable of a team. That's true. But champions or people with that kind of or teams with that kind of mentality are able to avert that because of levels of concentration and understanding that. So we've got to definitely do better from that respect, 100%. And I'm not going to keep hearing the excuses of this team's young, this team's young. There's enough players in this team, regardless of their age, that have got Premier League experience under their belt, competition experience under their belt. They got enough to know better. This season, we're not holding them up to the same standards as we did last season. If we want to improve, we want to hold them up to better standards this season.
It was not even from winning the World Cup. It was from getting top 4, because after top 4, you need to be looking upwards. Otherwise, you just get yourself into a trap of constantly being in the top 4. Now, I've seen like there's comments and everything saying leave Garnacho alone and what about Tosin on the first goal? We're going to get to that. Don't worry. But the reason why I'm talking about that second goal being the difference maker is because we rotated first half and we knew we had to rotate as well. Now, I don't agree with the performances that I saw there. There was a lot that really disappointed me, and we're going to get into that. But the reason why I'm talking about Garnacho and that equalizer, and I've still said that there's a lot of other people accountable, but listen, that's the second goal after we've come back with our first teamers and turned the game around. Then we throw the game stupidly off that moment after getting the lead back. Yep. And if I have to look at one person, I sadly have to look at Garnacho. because it's his guy that he doesn't
He lost
even
his
try
man.
to mark. It's not an agenda. Mark your man, and then we're not complaining. Now we'll talk about the first half. Don't get it twisted. But you fucked up. You fucked up. Man said it's his first game for Chelsea. Yeah, welcome to Chelsea. And is that an excuse to not track your man on a set piece?
It's definitely not. It's definitely
What are
not
we
an
doing?
excuse to do that. It's not. But then at the same time, look, I'm not excusing it. And especially at the level where I want us to be, it's inexcusable. It's completely inexcusable. But I will understand that these things sometimes happen in football. Now, I'm not going to let him keep getting away with this. That's definitely something we're not going to allow him to keep getting away with. But he has to take accountability. And I'm sure I'm sure he knows that. I'm pretty sure he knows that. But, you know, those that are saying, let's go back to the first goal, because I understand where everyone's coming from in terms of, you know, Tosin was consistently stepping off his man, right? So there's that issue. My thing is once the player got into the box, Tosin should have made a decision, I believe, personally, but it could have got him a red or whatever, but still, he should have made a decision before the ball got into the box. Now, when Tosin was in the box and he was 1-on-1 with my man over there, his body shape was completely wrong in order for him to make any kind of challenge. And that is on Tosin. And the thing is Tosin is a player that I believe, since he signed, has got unfair stick. I think he's done pretty well with all things considered. But at the same time, I'm still going to hold him accountable for certain things. Him backing off in the box and being square onto his man meant that he was not able to make a challenge, or if he was going to, he was 100% going to concede that penalty. 100%, which wouldn't have mattered in hindsight because it ended up in a goal anyway. But for me, Tosin should have done way better in terms of either making that decision before he gets into the box, or at least aligning himself up properly once the player is in the box to give himself some sort of chance. Because effectively, once Tosin was square on, and if people don't understand what I'm saying, it's both shoulders facing the player. Once Tosin's like that, effectively, he's basically a wall that's blocking Sanchez and giving the striker the freedom of the net. That's basically what he did. But even still, before then...
That's the second time he's done that as well, because he did that in the Fulham game where you're just showing them onto the strong side.
Yep. But I don't know.
See if I can find a specific moment in game.
It's that, and then there's also the question of Wesley Fofana. You know, some are saying, well, where was he? He couldn't get back. That's something you see with Fofana. I wasn't even a fan of him starting that right back anyway. I just wasn't. That's something that I just didn't want to see. Look at that. His legs. You see Fofana, his legs are so gone. His legs are so gone. He's not catching anybody.
Yeah, and even that, that's his first start, so I'm not surprised that he's still looking a little bit leggy and everything. You can see that he's struggling to get back. Tosin manages to get back, but he commits too much to the near side.
But once he got,
and it makes it very easy when he gets back, he's not that agile on the turn.
When he gets back, watch Sharda before he takes the shot and look at Tosin's body position.
Just before he takes a shot. All right, once. Boom. So back up. There. Now he's just standing.
Look.
He's standing on the near side.
See how both of his... Okay, maybe his right shoulder is slightly back, but it's not to the side enough. But you see what I'm talking about here? Sharda he's using Tosin as that wall to block Sanchez. And he's got the freedom of that right side of his goal completely. That side of his goal is completely open to him. Sanchez's view is obviously obscured because of Tosin.
Yeah, because they're both covering the near side. Tosin should be covering the far side.
And
because he's too slow to get back in turn in time, he gets fucked.
Wilder's asking the question, why isn't Sanchez diving though? That's the thing, is I will never know, you will never know, Lewis will never know. But in terms of his view, it could have been two things. It could have been one, he wasn't obstructed and he really should have known to cover that side earlier. Or two, he might have been trying to look through Tosin to figure out what this man's trying to do. It could have been
Yeah,
that.
because Tosin stops right in front of him.
Right,
It's
look,
inadvertent
he's in the line of the ball. He can't see what he's doing. At least that's what I believe anyway.
And he ends up going for the dive, but too late because he sees the ball too late. Like, that's just it. And like, we've obviously overcommitted because like we're expecting to dominate possession and play them high up. And that's what frustrates me more about the individuals too, because we're playing that high up, but we're not threatening them whatsoever. Yep. That first half, we had one shot on target, which was a P-roller from Jamie Gittins. It was one of them just hit and hope chances. And that's all that we ever did in their third. We made it very easy for them in the first half. João Pedro was feeding off scraps.
Yep.
Gittins looked so off the pace. It was insane. Same as Buonanotte. Neto looked decent, but like it's only decent when you're comparing it to everything else on the pitch. Enzo, I thought, struggled defensively first half. I thought on the ball and progressively, he looked good all game, and he looked a lot better in the second half. But overall, we didn't turn up individually in that first half, and especially in the physical side of the game. Brentford were like trying to bully us, and they were kind of getting away with a lot. Not in terms of referee decisions, but like they were dominating us physically. And it seems to like just get to us and kind of got nerves and everything. But that first half performance was garbage from a lot of people. And that's why, in spite of us playing that high up and committing that many bodies, we just didn't do anything. Didn't do a damn thing.
No, I agree. The first half actually is some of the worst football that I've seen from us for a long, long time. It was horrible football, if you're being completely honest. But with the players that were available and the team selection, honestly, I wasn't expecting us to obviously perform to our best, but that was still unacceptable. I've got to point out some individual performances that really sort of I was a little disappointed about, but again, early days, one of them being Gittins.
Yeah.
Sadly,
we have to talk on that performance.
I don't know. I'm not gonna call it early and say he's a bad player or whatever. I'm not gonna call it just yet. I'm gonna try and do my best and give chances and make proper statements from January onwards on every single player this season. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to jump in too early, but from what I'm seeing from him, this move may be a little premature. It may be a little premature because even something is down to I saw him isolated one-on-one. The way he would want it in the Bundesliga is isolated one-on-one with his fullback. And sometimes it's not even the defender that's dispossessing him. He's making mistakes on the ball himself. So I don't know if it's an IQ thing, I doubt it, or if it's the fact that he's doubting himself and his confidence isn't quite there. But the point is he's not ready to start games just yet. Absolutely not. And that's going to beg the question, who's the other option on that left side that we're going to start? It's that boy Garnacho.
Or so Neto.
Ask you,
to be fair, like a fit Esteval, and you just play Neto on the left.
That's true.
But then it comes into wasting the 90 million on two left wingers. Should have just picked one.
That's true. No, yeah, people, I completely forgot about Neto as well. But I don't know, man. Gittins is one. Who else is someone I was slightly disappointed with? Look, Enzo's, I'm not going to lie. As Enzo developed as the game went on, I think he had a way better second half. But in that first half, it exposed some of the lack of attributes that he has that are no fault of his own. And this is the thing, is like, I don't want people to say, like, you know, Guni, you hate him, you got an agenda. No, because there's things about him athletic-wise that is always going to make him suffer. But Caicedo is there to help him with. But you do see at times that his lack of athleticism does let him down at times. And we were seeing that in the first half. And the thing is, it's not even just that first half. It's in the previous several games, he's not been at his best. He hasn't. I'm just saying that we need to see better from Enzo. We need to see more from him. 100%. We need to see more from him. Who else is disappointing? Wesley Fofana. I believe he was put in a position where he shouldn't have even been. That man can't. He's got no legs left to track back. He's lost so much. He's lost so much pace because of that injury. It's night and day compared to when we signed him.
See, I don't know if it's just him getting back up to speed, though, because I had that thought about him when he started against Man City last season. And then by the time that we played Crystal Palace on game week 3, I'd already thought like his pace and his anticipation had already gone back up to speed. I just think because it's his first start, he's still looking rusty. Now, I still want a good performance from him. I thought his anticipation was way off the mark, but
yeah,
I really think with him, it's just you're just getting yourself back up to speed. You kind of need a couple games.
Yeah, but do you want to do that with him at right back? That's my question.
That's where the fuck up was. And we again had 3 right back options on the bench.
Why not? And Achimpong's available. He hasn't done terrible since when he's had his chances. Why couldn't he start the game? He's not a regular starter either. You know, if you're thinking about rotation and Bayern Munich or whatever, then all right, cool. But you and I both know chances are he's not going to start against Bayern Munich.
No, so probably won't see him till Lincoln.
Say that again?
Probably won't see him till Lincoln. And just to add to your point as well, I feel like Achimpong is more the Fofana mold of midfielder, centre-back, because he loves to carry the ball. The same way Fofana will like to carry the ball as opposed to passing. Now, he can still pass, but his preference is to carry. And that's why I feel like you could use him instead in that position.
100%. So, look, I guess a lot of my question marks are also with Maresca as well, because some of my issues were also personnel. Some decisions I understood, some I didn't, like the one I just referenced there.
Yeah. I think for me, also the left-hand side, like I'm glad that we changed it by the second half, but can we never see that again? Hato is not ready yet. Gittins is not ready yet. You've put them both on the left-hand side with Chalobah, who isn't comfortable on the left. That was never going to work. Like Alex was saying, it was like a stroke patient formation. And it's a bit brutal, but I mean, that left side is a little bit droopy still. I hear it.
Yeah, it was.
I hear it.
I mean, so, yeah, in that respect, it doesn't set Gittins up for success, nor does it set up Hato for success. You know, so...
And that's where we fucked us. And then you had Buonanotte, who's got, like, no real idea of the system, and you could tell with some of the movements he was trying to make, passing the ball into no man's land, expecting players to be there.
Yeah.
That seemed like we were setting ourselves up for failure, but we also kind of had to rotate anyway, which then just comes back to the window as a whole. Because, like, this is the drop when we have to rotate.
Yeah, but there's also, to be fair, we've also got some injuries. But then we should have planned for that considering the football that we'd been playing up until the season started. That should have been, we should have taken that into accountability. So for me, it's a bit of a, yeah, I understand it, but we should have prepared more adequately for it, sort of thing. But no, I mean, as a whole, I agree with you, Lewis, man. It's the summer now is already starting to expose itself a little bit. And Maresca's he's got to get it right more with the decisions as well, especially in the Premier League, especially in the Prem, because the way I'm seeing it now, again, at least, it's only been a few games with the Prem, but it's a similar pattern to what I was seeing last season where, like, there's no team yet that have absolutely convinced me that they're going to blow this league away. And I think it could be anybody between, as we currently stand, and obviously mathematically, of course, stating the obvious, from what I'm seeing, Liverpool are not great. Yes, they're good, but are they great? No, they're not for me. Manchester City, they're not that great. And they've got injuries too. But they're still getting results. Arsenal, not that great, but they're still getting the results that they need to. If we do our job, we could surprise. But then, I don't know.
But this is another reason why this game is so frustrating, because now you look at the first 4 games, it's 2 wins, 2 draws, and it doesn't look great. But I'm perfectly fine with just putting the Palace game out to the side because we had 2 preseason games and we look clearly rusty. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind that. You've gone into the international break unbeaten. Yeah, the performances still leave a bit to be desired, but we're a bit rusty. We haven't lost a game yet. Fine. Now, because of this stupid lapse of concentration, we're now looking at 2 wins and 2 draws.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a winnable run of games. And now everything just looks a little bit just like inconsistent and mid. We shouldn't be doing this against teams like Brentford.
No, we shouldn't, because that's where
Relegation
our problem. That's where our main problems were last season. And if you want to look at, why we didn't finish higher in the Prem, it wasn't the big teams necessarily, because I felt we done fairly well against most of them. To my memory, unless my memory is absolutely in the shit, I feel free to correct me if it is, chat. But like, I don't want us to be that team where, we beat all the top 6 teams and that, but then when we're facing the other teams, we're not getting the results we can. Because if we take extreme circumstances, we saw Manchester United do it a couple seasons ago, where they were comfortably beating the teams that nobody thought they would beat, but then they were losing against the teams that you consider they should be getting points against. We can't be that team. Every game counts in the Premier League.
Yep, I agree. And I know they're saying any game's a winnable game. I hear it, but let's be real. There are games that are more winnable than others. And when you're facing relegation stragglers, you should be using that as an opportunity to flex. Like when we played West Ham, when 1 goal down, nobody gave a shit. We'll slap 5 on them. No one cares. Brentford, it should have been something similar to that. Again, even with the lineup, we're annoyed about the lineup and the way that we started the game and everything. But the game management was good. We came out in the second half, we're a lot better. We made the right changes and we took the lead. That says to me, as frustrating as the first half was, the plan was working. We were going to leave with the 3 points. Maybe not in the best of circumstances, but we were going to leave with the victory. Yeah. And then we fumble it. This is something that we have to get out of our system. I felt like we did. We've had a bit of a step back. But it doesn't really have me feeling like a bit worried about the games that we have ahead, just based off the fact that we didn't really start with our best. Sadly, that's going to be the case now going to the end, at least for the next couple of weeks. But at the very least, it's fucking annoying that we've thrown the game like this. It really is. Really fucking is. I just hope we learn from this. I really hope we learn from this, because it's a naive drop-off that is so avoidable.
Well, our next game is against Manchester United. I don't know if is that at Old Trafford or is it at the Bridge? Yep. It's at Old Trafford. Right. That's going to be a test, because I don't remember the last time we won over there.
2013 was the last time.
And this is the
Sir
thing.
Alex Ferguson was in charge. Juan Mata scored.
And this is the thing. Last year, I was very disappointed that we didn't get the win, because at that point, Manchester United were basically the whipping boys of the Prem, and they still didn't get it across the line. He's got to do it this time. We've got to get it done this time, especially if we've got our key players available. I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh, we ain't won for 12 years. Well, 12 years ago, this wasn't Manchester United. This Manchester United, we should be getting 3 points. If we do not get 3 points, I don't care if we draw this game. For me, it's as bad as a loss. We need to win.
I agree, because then it's 3 draws and 2 wins. It's looking even worse after that point. And we got Palace coming not Palace. We got Bayern coming in the middle of it. I feel more confident for that one, just based off the way that they play. I feel like it's going to suit us a lot more, and it's going to lead to more chances. Now, they've got a good attack. Don't get twisted. I don't think we keep a clean sheet, but I think we're going to get enough opportunities to get some goals. Just look, can we just not make any dumb decisions? We seem to wake up more against the bigger teams anyway, so we'll probably end up having a much better performance.
I'll be honest with you. Even with Bayern's attack, look, I highly rate Elise. I highly rate Harry Kane, but when I look at the matchups, Cucurella versus Elise, Harry Kane versus whoever the centre backs are going to be, but more so the Cucurella versus Elise, because I believe Elise is their best player and has been. I'm not too afraid of that, I'm kind of looking at that and I'm thinking, yo, as world class as Elise is, I'm looking at Cucurella to say, boy, he's been the best performing left back in Europe for how long now? So it's a good matchup. If he can keep him quiet, and obviously there's 1 or 2 others in the squad, it's not just Elise FC, of course. I kind of fancy our chances. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I kind of fancy our chances if we do well.
Yeah, because I think we'll win the midfield battle. We can handle the fullbacks. Kane and Tosin or Chalobah, that'll be an interesting duel.
Yeah.
And up top, that defense can be got at. That defense ain't amazing. And we should hopefully have Esteban and Palmer back, because the idea would be to focus on that game over focusing on Brentford. I've seen some people saying them back again that we underestimated Brentford and all of that, but I'm just thinking like, it's Brentford. It's not even a good Brentford side.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry. Like you would rather underestimate them than underestimate a Bayern or a Manchester United. 100%. I'd just rather the individuals on the pitch do what needs to be done. Fucking Nottingham Forest can beat them 3-1. I see they won one league game all season.
Right, yeah, exactly. They have it. So I don't know why people are saying we underestimated them when really it was we threw the result away ourselves. The way I see it, lapse in concentration. Of course, they done well to get the goal. They persisted. But when you really look at it and you having honest conversations, we threw that away. We threw away 2 points.
So what was this, by the way? I told Chelsea looking at several opportunities, for example, at centre-back. There's the famous word. If there's a young player with some good quality for Chelsea, it's always time for a good opportunity. Currently tracking many talents, especially from abroad. Great. What a load of nothing. Several opportunities at centre-back when we know we're just going to recall fucking Mamadou Sarr and Selmino in January and try and work with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Please, Fabrizio, get in the bin. Get in the fucking bin.
The
opportunity for a centre-back should have been now. Fucking Mark Guehi or Andreas Christensen or someone who can play the centre-back role that you can go in for. I know people are going to say we're joking with Christensen. There aren't a lot of consistent centre-back options, and we need that. And what did we do? 90 million on 2 left wingers. That's what we decided we needed. Because the Mamadou Sarr thing, you could have just recalled him now. Like, Strasbourg are already pissed off anyway, so it's not like you're going to piss them off anymore.
Oh, yeah. Like, the Ishe Samuels thing. Did you see what they did with the Ishe Samuels, the banner?
Yeah, something about them buying him on a big fee and selling them on a low fee. I thought like everything was pretty by the books with that deal.
Well, they're treating it as suspicious, but hey, I don't know enough information about that, but I'm hearing the Strasbourg fans are not happy with Bluco at the minute. Still not too happy with him, you know what I mean?
Look, I hear all of that. If you guys go win conference, you ain't gonna care no more.
Of course.
Trophies talk, innit? It's the same thing with us. Trophies talk. Clear Lake and the sporting director's got another summer off it. It's just, you really had to give him a 6-year contract too? Really? That's why I look at the window as a 4. I haven't actually asked your opinions on the window as a whole, but for me, it's a 4 because of that.
Yeah, I'm probably a 5 for me.
Probably a
5 for me. João Pedro, top signing. Trying to think, who else did we go through the signings we bought in this summer? So
I'll bring it up. Chelsea transfers. Where is transfer market? You guys keep smashing the likes while you're in here as well. Nearly 400 in the chat. Big up all you guys.
Yeah, man.
So, I'm fucking lagging like a motherfucker. So, here we go. João Pedro, Gittins, Garnacho, Hato, Delap, and that's about it. Esteval, Dario, they all came. Dario Sugo was done in March, to be fair, but Esteval's last summer.
So the ones really that I'm looking at is João Pedro, Jamie Gittins, Garnacho. Esteval was signed last season. Liam Delap, Sugo. Yeah, I'm going to count on Sugo, I'm going to count Hato, and I'm going to count Buonanotte. And for me, it's underwhelming. It's underwhelming. The defense wasn't addressed. I believe there was opportunities to do that. You know, Hincapié ended up going to Arsenal. Couple of
loan and an option.
There you go. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there was opportunities missed in terms of centre-back options, in terms of goalkeeping options as well. You know, I understand, you know, some will say, well, what options are there? There was Donnarumma. Some feel like he's no good. Some feel like he's a world-class goalkeeper.
Mike Mignon. The perfect stopgap defenders, by the way.
Say that again?
The perfect stopgap for Penders, by the way. You just give him a year or two and then you just sell him off for the same fee and put Penders in.
And that's it. Esteval doesn't count because he was signed the summer before. That's why I don't count him. Liam Delap, yeah, sorry, Dumbledore. Liam Delap, that could be. Look, again, that's to be confirmed in terms of what type of signing he's going to be. But it's more so what was needed for the entire team, and I just feel like defensively we could have done a little bit better. Goalkeeper, I still got a question over it, you know. So I've got to give it a 5. Got to give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, because here's my thing, like. I get the idea that there are opportunities or like younger players that will be quality first team options for us in a year or two's time, and then you'll have the squad that can go and compete for everything. But why can't we just get that done now and then compete for the league and then have even better options in a year or two's time? Mm-hmm. Or you end up even flipping those younger players off to someone else and you get double your money back. Either way, we're winning trophies, so you're getting money off that. And you're still going to be able to flip somebody at the end of it. So you can still win more trophies. Instead, the whole idea has just been, Colwell's injured. Shit.
But he's out.
I guess we're going to have to wait a year then. Fuck.
He's out for the entire season.
Yeah, but because of that, we've just said, all right, cool, we'll just wait till next year then. Mamadou Sarr will be in. Mike Penders might be ready by then. And we'll have Quenda coming in. And there's your entire squad. I didn't even need to buy anybody in the window. We just brought back people. Which is great. That's great for next year. Like, next year, I'll be so gassed off that.
But this is what we said last year.
I want to build off the World Cup.
This is what we said last year. Esteval's coming. This guy's coming. That guy's coming.
Yep.
Come on, man. Are we going to say the same thing next year? Is, we're a couple points off it, you know, we might finish second, but then if you wait till next year, we've got this guy coming, and we've got this guy coming from loan, and we've got this guy coming. So, well, exactly. Netflix FC, are we going to have to keep waiting until the next season?
Mm-hmm. Like, why can't you just bring, like, 1 or 2 players that are ready now, and that's it? Mark Guehi, you take away the 20% sell-on clause, it's already a cheaper deal for us, just like that. Mike Mignon was £20 million. You could have done all of that for the Jamie Gittins transfer. Or Garnacho and like whatever. See if you can try and get rid of somebody else quickly enough and make the money back. Because that's another thing that makes it more frustrating. We have the UEFA squad cap for this summer and next summer. So we already don't have a lot of money that we can use. It's not that we're broke, but we can't use all of our money.
Yeah.
So why are you wasting 90 mil on 2 wingers that are not starting for me? When you clearly wanted a goalkeeper, otherwise Fab wouldn't have dropped that exclusive bomber. We want Mike Mignon. We're in talks with him. I'm going to drop like an update every hour for the next week about him. But we don't want a goalkeeper. We believe in the goalkeepers that we have. You are lying. You are straight lying. You just said let's cope with Sanchez for another year. The centre-backs would be fine if Colwell was there, but it's not there, so we're going to have to cope with that for another year. And everything else should hopefully carry us to winning major honours because it carried us to a World Cup. I would hear all of this if Colwell was fit. He's not, so you should be replacing him. Not telling me like, Badiashile can do it on the ball, not off the ball, but he can do it on the ball. Okay, can you get him to do it off the ball? Because then maybe we'll care. Right now, like, it's not, we need top 4 so I can get by with all of this. Now it's like, no, I want a title. Top 4's done. That's finished. We've done it now. Progress. Progress is a process. So we better be progressing. I want more trophies. We better be competing. But it really feels like not even bar João Pedro, because respectfully, I could have seen us getting João Pedro even if we didn't get top 5. This feels like a window that we would have had Champions League or not. And that's what's frustrated me.
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there. We can't tell, like, if we had no idea where any team finished, but we just looked at the transfer business, you would think Chelsea are trying to compete for the Europa and not the Champions League.
Remember all the things that we heard about we need Champions League to go and get premium players and all of this shit.
Look, if I start going back to some of the promises that that they made to us, it's going to infuriate me. Like they said, oh, we're going to sign the elite of the elitist youngsters in football and just build this super team.
Yeah, instead it's like, no, we're going to wait for it.
Well, and look, most of the elite youngsters that we're seeing, they're not at Chelsea. Yeah, we got one or two. We got a couple. Cole Palmer, Caicedo, potentially Esteval. But outside of that, can you name me anybody else where you can say hand on heart that it's going to be a superstar?
Nah. The only one that we really looked like that was even close was like maybe Javi Simmons. And even then, I'll be so real. If we got a centre-back and a goalkeeper instead of that, you could do the whole Buonanotte thing and I wouldn't care. Because at least all the other areas of the squad, it's fine. If I have to deal with this guy who I don't know and I don't think is going to be good enough as depth, it's so minor, it don't matter. It's not that deep. Now you've got that and no improvements at centre-back or in goal. It's like, what the fuck? I'm saying we got a fab tweet. We got a fab tweet.
Let's
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. It's talking about Chris Wilder. Back to Sheffield United for a third time. All right, big up. But yeah, cool. Like that's calm. Like all the other fab stuff was about Caicedo getting a new contract, which cool. I'm glad he is. It seems like we're going to give him big money, but I heard about this from May. What's taking so long? Cucurella as well. He was meant to be getting a contract too. I'd like to hear that getting done soon.
Yeah,
not even out of worry or anything. But if
I don't think there's going to be a massive rush for that, and they probably will offer him a contract. But you know, we're kind of going into uncharted territory there because they're already at quote unquote the wage. I believe Cucurella's on like 120, 100. I don't know. But anyway,
I think
it's
on
close
like
to the alleged
170 or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he'd be above 150k. Let me just check. Caicedo's on 150 straight.
Apparently that's the cap in it. 150 is the tops that we got.
Until we go into the top four. So now they would have got a 25% increase. Cucurella's on 175.
So is that's after the top four triggered, the thing triggered for top four?
Yes, yeah. Oh no, before. I don't know where it is now. They haven't updated it.
So then he's probably looking at the range of like 200k. 200k plus. I mean, look, they're not going to renew him for 180k, are they? Or 190k. It's going to be 200 plus.
Yeah, obviously with the 20% to take off if we drop out, but he seems pretty calm with that. Doesn't seem like he's in a rush to leave. Neither does Caicedo. But so if you told us this months ago, why ain't it done yet or accelerated?
That's what makes me worry is until we see the first one go through, and what I mean by that is the first renewed contract 200k and above, it's still going to put question marks in my head.
Yeah, because he's on 2 years left after this season.
So for me, if at least if they go, all right.
No. Sorry. I'm bugging. Cucurella's already completed that agreement. Thank God.
Oh, he has?
Sorry, I'm bugging. That's not been confirmed. The number's not been confirmed, but Fab already said in August, completed the agreement, new contract is signed and sealed. So now it's just Caicedo.
Did Ornstein confirm that?
Ornstein hasn't confirmed it, but Fabrizio basically gets all the briefings from Chelsea anyway.
Interesting.
But like, look, let Fabrizio be wrong about this as well. I'll cook the fuck out of him.
That's why I was asking for Ornstein's. Did he confirm? That's what I was saying because he had a horrible summer.
Yeah, he's had so many here we goes getting dropped and everything because his brother wants to keep jumping the gun, doing here we go meters and everything. Fuck off. That whole Garnacho saga had me so annoyed, man, because it was just every day the same bullshit non-update.
Yeah, but Garnacho's agent was paying him off, man, was breaking him off for them transfers, for that news.
Yeah, I hear it, but like, look, not every fucking day, innit? I get it, you gotta get your bag, but still, it's just fucking annoying from my point of view. From the other side, innit? And yeah, the whole Xavi Simons thing. It's only Chelsea. It's only Chelsea. He only wants Chelsea. Signs for Tottenham. All right. Yeah, cool. Not even annoyed about Xavi Simons for that because we dragged it to death. But don't tell me it's only Chelsea. Tell me Chelsea got to hurry up and get the deal done because clearly you wouldn't have made that decision like that. There would have been at least a week or two when he's kind of considering whether the deal's going to go through or not, and you didn't want to say a word. But whatever. I said one thing about Fabrizio, and I had the whole of fucking Niger Twitter on me talking about, oh, no, but how was he meant to get it right? He's not a soothsayer or anything. Shut up, man. Why was got to ride out for the wrong people, bro? What the fuck's wrong with you? Big up Catch, man. Big up Catch every time, my G. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. So, how are we feeling for Bayern Munich then? How are we feeling? Because I think like we've already spoke about what we have to deal with defensively. Offensively, without Liam Delap to like stretch the back line a little bit, how are we feeling going into that from an attacking perspective?
For me, as long as Estevao is fit, João Pedro is fit, and in this case, obviously Cole Palmer, and in this case Neto, I think attacking-wise we're going to be fine. Attacking-wise we're going to be fine. I think that attack is too top-heavy for Bayern Munich's defense. Now their attack is quality as well, 100%. But when you look at the personnel between two defensive back lines, I think Chelsea have it over Bayern in general.
But
another thing I'm going to say is I've even gone into this season saying that of all competitions I see us doing well in, I'm not saying we're going to win it. It's the Champions League. I do think we're set up more for cup competitions. I still believe that massively. And there's nobody that I honestly believe this hand on heart. There's nobody in that competition that I look at and genuinely fear we're going to get absolutely clarted by. There's not a single team. I'm going into every match.
I would have thought it'd be PSG. And look what fucking
and this is what I'm saying. Once you've done that, once you've decimated them the way we done, like who's there left to fear? Because they're clear of everybody last season. The way they was knocking the ball about and just making it look easy. Mm-hmm. Some will say fatigue or this and that and the other. Well, we were playing a lot of games too, respectfully.
Yeah, troops try to run that excuse. PSG were tired.
Well, so were we. We played a lot of games as well. But there's nobody that I fear. I swear down. When it comes to the cup competitions, there's no one that I fear. That doesn't mean I believe we're going to go and steamroll absolutely everybody. No, that's not the case. We may lose somewhere. We may not lose somewhere. But there's nobody that I fear.
Yeah, me too, man. Like this PSG game is that and the whole tournament as a whole and the run-in showed to me that the team's improved on a level mentally, in terms of their technical ability, in terms of their understanding of Maresca's system, and you play a lot more teams that back themselves a lot more, so you're not going to be dealing with low blocks constantly. So I feel a lot better going into the Champions League. I hear all of that.
Let me look at the Bayern Munich midfield as well, because I want to look at what they fielded in their last game. Don't do this, computer. Now,
That's a look at your run in the final compared to theirs. Brother, what do you mean? We both played the same amount of games.
Like, they're trying to say that.
How about look at the final compared to theirs? How about we had to play for like 3 hours because of that Benfica game and all the fuckery that surrounded that?
Let me see. Hold on.
That was both ways, man. That was both ways. Those Brazilian teams are getting upped by everybody in the group stage. Oh, the Brazilian teams actually could be a top 5 league. That could be better than the Portuguese league. That could be better than the Italian league. All because Botafogo beat PSG, Flamengo beat us, and they were unbeaten in match day 1 and 2. Now, because Chelsea dunked on all of the others, suddenly beating the Brazilian teams, they ain't nothing serious. But when Botafogo beat PSG, there was a different energy. It is what it is. Same energy now for the Club World Cup. Now that we've won the Club World Cup, it's tin pot. It's pre-season. It's nothing. It's not serious. It's not important. Let PSG have won it. It would be spoken about like the most prestigious.
Yeah, the prestige all of a sudden be back. Yeah.
Yeah. glazed to high heaven, but because one of the rivals had to win it, suddenly 8-9. I get it. We'd see the same thing for City, but shit, Chelsea won it. Hold that. Hold that.
No, facts.
But yeah, what's the Bayern midfield saying? I think it's
So the Bayern midfield,
Lima, right?
well, this is what they fielded against Augsburg anyway. So they had the pivot of Goretzka and Kimmich, and it says here that Gnabry was at the 10, but we already know with those attacking position it was Luis Diaz, Gnabry, Olise. They all interchange, and then you got Harry Kane at the number 9. Very good attack. Olise obviously being a star man for me. Gnabry's goal he scored the other day was just absolutely ridiculous. Great goal. But I don't know if that's him coming back into any kind of form. I don't know. Luis Diaz, I've always felt is a good player. Harry Kane is Harry Kane, obviously. But then when I look at that midfield and I compare it to what we've got, doesn't scare me. It doesn't. I honestly believe with Caicedo in that midfield, Enzo having a good game, and then we've got either the left back or Reece James inverted into that midfield to make it a 3. I don't think you can get too much better than that. And I'm talking in world football. Honestly speaking, I honestly believe Caicedo for me is one of the best midfielders in world football. 100%, top 5.
I think that midfield's getting straight bodied. It's only going to be Goretzka that will provide some serious muscle, and the amount of shit that I hear about Goretzka says to me that we should probably handle that midfield pretty well. The attack will get chances. The defense 100%. Will probably still be put under the cosh a little bit because you're still going to be dealing with some fucking ballers, but it should be something that we handle a bit better. Hell, with it being a higher line, even Sanchez's distribution might not be as big of a problem going into that. Yeah, because now you just got to hit the ball into a bit of space and just get the players to run at it.
Yep.
So
I want us to get, honestly, I want us to start off the competition with a win. I want us to win over there because, beating Bayern Munich psychologically as our first game is a great way to introduce yourself back into the Champions League after not being in it for so long. I think there's no better way than to do it that way. And I think we can. I genuinely think we can. I think we can do it.
Yeah, me too, man. And that would be the perfect way to just get the confidence back into the Chelsea squad from the fan base. Because I feel like now there's a section that are just looking a bit side-eyed and thinking, is this the same Chelsea that we've seen or not? And I think it's still too early to even have those questions, especially with the fact that I'm calling those first 3 games a preseason because we didn't get any. So we had to manage our way through and get the rustiness out of our system.
I'll go as far to say this, despite the Brentford result and how gutted I feel coming away from it. When Maresca made those substitutions for the second half, for me, it showed, it said something to me. It said that the mentality of this team and the skill set of this team is definitely way better than it has been over the past few seasons.
Yeah.
Because as soon as, Reece James came on, Cole Palmer came on, I can't remember who the third player, it was, for me, you could see the difference in quality immediately. And we didn't always see that in seasons before. I just think there's been a shifted mentality in terms of in a positive direction. So, yeah, I'm more optimistic about Chelsea. I won't lie. In general, I'm more optimistic about them, but I still think we've got a long way to go before we're gonna get to where we want to be.
Yeah, it's just look at the very least, just keep yourself on track. I do not want us regressing or going backwards.
Yeah,
don't give me none of that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck all of that. But yeah, there's one other thing I want to bring up. Nicholas Jackson. Suddenly now he's left Chelsea. Now everyone wants to start hyping him up again. Oh, Jackson's going to dunk on you. He's definitely going to dunk on you. Now, I do think there's going to be some motivation surrounding him. No Astrid Wet jokes aside and everything. But how are you feeling about Nicholas Jackson potentially facing Chelsea? Is that even one of your bigger worries or what?
No,
how are you feeling?
I didn't even, honestly, I forgot he was even at Bayern Munich. And that's not to say that's not to say that he's going to be no threat against us. I'm not saying that. It's just Bayern have bigger and better players for me to worry about than Nicholas Jackson. They honestly
it's jarring that he ain't on the bench for us though, because I'd rather him as a number 3 option for us too. But I get he didn't want that, is what it is.
No, I didn't. That was down to him. But you know, in the bigger scale of things, once again, I'm looking at Harry Kane, one of the most devastating strikers in Europe. I'm looking at Elise, one of the most devastating forwards in Europe. I'm looking at Luis Diaz and Serge Gnabry, two players that are highly skilled on their day. Where does Nicholas Jackson fit in that pecking order? So you see, if you take one of those out for me, and then you replace that with Nicholas Jackson, you're not strengthening. You're not making the team any stronger. You see what I mean? Maybe in intervals of the game, maybe if Jackson comes on 70th minute as a sub, fresh legs or whatever, different story. But even then,
it's just more like because he can do little bits of what João Pedro and Delap do. It's just the finishing's garbage. Delap, he can stretch the defense. He can be a bit of a bully. Like with what's his name? João Pedro, they both like to drop deep and get involved in the build-up play.
But if Jackson drops deep, you know who he's got to deal with. He's got to come up with his ex-teammate Caicedo, bruv. Let's see how well he's going to do against him.
Oh yeah. Like it's going to be long for him trying that against us. I'm not worried about him in front of
Jackson
like
can
that.
hold up a ball, yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, there's only so much of that you're going to do. There's got to be other aspects of your game that you've got to get on point, especially in games like this where chances for you can come few and far between. And you know, with Jackson, he needs a lot of chances to convert. He does.
Facts. And he ain't going to have a lot of time on the pitch either. And if anything, Chelsea will also have the same motivation to not let him score as well. So it will go both ways. But what's your score prediction, quickly? What's your score prediction?
Where are we? We're at Munich, right?
Yeah, we're going away.
Right, my heart wants to say 2-1 to Chelsea, but I'm going to go 2-2. If I'm thinking logically, I'm going to say 2-2. But my heart definitely says 2-1 to Chelsea. I just don't know which one to go with. I don't know which. It's a toss-up. Yeah, now you know what? I'm going to go with chest. I'm going to say Chelsea 2-1. I'm going with chest.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm saying the same thing as well.
I'm going to say I've given all this talk about how there's not a single team that scares me in the Champions League or whatever. And I honestly believe that we can get a result against them 100%. Why not?
Here's hoping we do, man. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking we go for a 2-1 win. Actually go 2-0 up. Concede one late on.
There's no way we're going to clean sheet Bayern at Munich.
Yeah, no way.
I don't see that happening.
No way. Like, I mean, we're capable of it. I won't say nothing after PSG, but I won't be putting money down on that. I'm going to say it'll be a 2-1 win. I hate saying it because I feel like 2-1 is just like, it's the bait scoreline.
It is, isn't it?
You want to go tight victory. But both teams score. But
yeah, that's it. But then it's not even, but the thing is like, even if I know if Troops is listening as well, whoever's listening, as rivals, I know whatever result that comes through the door, including a Chelsea win, deep down, they're not going to be surprised. Nobody, for me, at least I think, nobody will be surprised if Chelsea come away with a win. I don't think
some of the rivals will be shocked. Same energy as PSG when none of them expected it.
Yeah, but because of that, you know what I mean? Especially after that's just happened and we've delivered a show.
Yeah.
They'd be stupid to be
it's underdog Chelsea again. All that shit.
Yeah. Who would you prefer to win against? Who would you prefer to win against? United or Bayern? United, because Bayern is not a must-win game. I mean, I don't like to approach games like that. I like to approach games in terms of we must win them all, of course. But when we're looking at the dynamics of things, this is the first game of the Champions League. This is going to be the fourth game of the Premier League. You know what I mean? I need those 3 points. And considering our last result against Brentford, I need those 3 points against United.
I don't like this question.
The
correct answer is probably United. Because I'm going Bayern, I'm greedy. I'm going to say Bayern. I need us to be Bayern.
But me as a fan, I'm looking at both of them for the W.
Yeah, we'll win everything.
The way it should be, in it, we should be looking at both of them for the W, and that's how I'm going to look at it.
Word to Mons, man. Both of them.
Yeah, there you go. Both of them.
Yeah, you already know, man. All right, but Guni, it's always great to catch up with you, man.
No,
Definitely got to link up a bit more. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in as well. Hey, follow Guni on Twitter as well. Let me get that link in the chat quickly.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. The YouTube.
Everybody go follow him ASAP.
Yeah, man. That's where you're gonna find me. Not so much on the YouTube thing at this moment in time, but you can find me giving my thoughts on Twitter and that. You know what I mean? So make sure you give that a follow as well.
Yeah, every single one of you head over there. Follow immediately, people. And don't go anywhere as well because we're sending everybody over to Jimmy. Jimmy's going live on his channel as well. So keep a lookout for that. Everybody head over and sub. I haven't set the redirects yet. Fucking hell. What a tard. There we go. Right, yeah, redirect all set. Everybody head over there. We'll see you all soon. Like, subscribe. Up the Chelsea. We're live with Rants in 30 minutes. Me, Don, and Rants. Check
I'll
that out.
into that.